trifling and Etruscan, addicts of drugs not yet synthesized, black marketeers of World War III, excisers of telepathic sensitivity, osteopaths of spirit, investigators of infractions denounced by bland paranoid chess players.
What is up, my freaks, geeks, and free thinkers? This is Mike Romanelli with episode number 30, and I'm sitting here with my main man, Clint Esposito. Clint Esposito, what is going on?
Not much, Michael. How are you?
I'm high.
Whoa.
I'm high.
I guess you can say that now.
Yeah, it's legal, and I'm high.
It's a wonderful feeling.
It's great. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit high. I love it. It's good. I haven't smoked weed, Clint, in months. I took over a month off.
Oh, yeah, just dabs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to lie to you. Because yesterday when we cleaned this place up, I was high, so I wasn't going to lie. I did a dab yesterday, and today I smoked some flower with you. And I took a break, and you know what? I love it.
It's much better.
I'm a little, like, I've always been that guy, the stoner guy, right? You smoke weed, nothing, really, something happens, but not much. Like, I feel high right now. This is great. So I took...
Congratulations.
I think it's a month. I think it's like a month. I mean, some edibles here and there. 2 weeks, right?
He goes a month, ate some edibles, maybe 2 weeks.
I can't remember.
So
but
then you didn't
edibles,
really take a
but I
break.
haven't smoked flower. I don't smoke flower. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't smoke flower, and I hate those pens. Those fucking pens. I don't care if what you got. I got the best, but I do not want those fucking pens. They're horrible. I don't know. Like, it's not.
I think for an evening at a baseball game or whatever, a concert, I think.
When they first came out, sure, that was so cool, but fuck that now.
Well, now that it's legal.
There's
I was
just nothing
thinking of
like
doing
flower.
a video where they have things that'll do your lap times and doing lap times sober, and then just like ripping a big
Running or doing your motorcycle?
motocross. Riding. So ride and get some lap times, and then just rip some big old bong, and then go and see if I can do the same lap times.
You can do that with every sport around the track. It'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, there's nothing like good flower, right?
Yeah.
I did do the dabs. When
agree.
I did a dab the other day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the real dab, like
Right.
with the torch and everything. And it was
What other kinds of dabs are there?
well, I think you could do the dab in the pen, because for years I thought I was doing dabs, and I was just doing them in the little Evo or something. It was a little coil, and you stick that. You know, so I thought I was doing it, but then once these young guys with the fucking with the rigs, the thermometers,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
and the torch, it's this whole thing. Oh my god! And I didn't do a
I never had the thermometer treatment,
bro. And I did it solvent free live rosin. So this shit was the guy told me, I didn't pay for it, but my friend had it, and it was $100 a gram, and it was like they said, you know, no machines were just were not used in the making of this, and no solvents. It looked like the nectar of the gods.
It was just migrant workers just in a fucking sweatshop. It just touch with their hands, no machines. Just little immigrant hands.
It's so rude.
Dude, they have the best oil in their hands.
So
you know
rude.
what I mean?
He was.
Is
I
that
don't know if
what
he
made-
created it. I don't know. That's
Was it American workers who
I
did
don't know.
this? I doubt it.
But it was so good. Oh my god! And then yeah, it's funny because I tried to buy something and he goes, "No, I only have the stuff with the solvent." And I'm like, I don't want that. So I smoked a little flower with you today, and I feel great. I'm sorry, I know it's like an old man. Oh, I'm so high, so cool.
No,
but it feels good. I love it. Weed is great, everyone.
Yeah, we have receptors for cannabinoids.
You know, Terrence
for a
McKenna.
reason.
Terrence McKenna believed that you should take a break.
Yeah, those guys say all that with all that stuff because they like to get fucked up. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I know, but
But you know,
I think that even with microdosing, right? I think mushrooms. I think that yes, you take a break and then it gives you like a better, like more of the feeling of it. But if you take them consistently, you still have that. You're just like, why am I happy all day? You know what I mean? But it's not as.
I think
you don't get as much of the stuff, but you have to be seeing benefits, no, long term. I would imagine if you're trying to help nerve regenesis.
Let's say with mushroom microdosing, I would say, Clint, that I think the days off, your brain is regenerating. That's what I think. I've messed with microdosing. I like it. Maybe because the big part of me that loves just that trip, that fucking journey.
Yeah.
Doesn't appreciate it, but it does. But a part of me that does appreciate is the days off. I've noticed, and I've noticed with other people that do microdoses, is the days off, and that's what I'm thinking. It's almost like a bodybuilding thing. Like they say, when you work out, you're actually building your muscle like the next day, And I think it's the same thing with microdose. I think the magic is the days after. It's kind of that's kind of true with any really good trip, though, right? Sometimes the best part is the morning or the afterglow.
I feel like I learn more during when you have these introspective.
Well, yeah, of course.
And that's the thing with microdosing is that you have these little epiphanies throughout the day. I've even had been at work working on stuff, and I'm like working on something, and then I have this thought of, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm like, just like, why would I do it that way? And I'm like, because that's how you got to do it. Like, but it's like a conversation with myself, where sometimes you'll even ask yourself questions about stuff that and then you'll have to like reaffirm, like, that's just how that is because of whatever. All
right, this is borderline like, are we crazy? But like, yo, check it out. But do you think sometimes that voice that you're hearing, or that all of a sudden when you do get a new perspective, is actually not your voice, and maybe you're tapping into something?
Maybe. I mean, this is where we had the conversation of, is the other dimension? Is it someplace that you go where you trip? Like where we talk about these other, like what's another dimension? How do you get to do you go physically or do you go there mentally?
I know where you're going with this, but what I'm thinking is I really am starting to play with this idea, dude. And it's awesome that you get that, during microdoses, because I don't get those at all during microdoses. I don't, but that's cool. You get them. I get them.
I think it's because of my brain injuries. Honestly, I've said that.
And everyone works different, but I do access that stuff. And for me, it's more after of a psychedelic experience. I'll be somebody's like in the shower or a walk or chopping wood and like doing something, and then all of a sudden I'll get these. I think you're saying the same thing that I'm talking about, like these conversations, let's say, and then sometimes it's almost accessing information. And it's like I'm really hearing it more and more in other podcasts. I always thought it was maybe a little crazy reading about other people way smarter than me. But I feel like there's something that we could all tap into, and then there's certain flow states or ways you get into there, and it's like all the information's there for everybody. Just how you gonna pull it out?
Yeah, listen,
like that's what that conversation I think is.
And we kind of had this leads into what I was saying before, but like. We had talked about, they say that people's minds grew so much because of meat and possibly eating psilocybin, or that's how monkeys or whatever started to change. So wouldn't that make sense that you're accessing some stream of information or something? Here's the other thing that tells me that. How did people around the earth have similar discoveries within 100 years or something of each other, and they could never communicate? And I can't give you good examples, but there are a lot of things. I know there are a lot of things where they're like, I don't know, fire or whatever, and they're like, they had it, and then they had it over here, and I'm like, they just fucking happened to figure that out within 100 years of each other. Like that seems kind of
like
crazy.
That hive mind. Everyone's in the hive mind. I think
it's like think with jokes. Once the idea is out
jokes
into
the
atmosphere, I think
jokes is such a perfect one, man. And we see it all the time. And it's just like, how do you? But you tap into the same. Yeah, you tap into that thing and you pull it out, and it's like your perspective on it. But I believe I believe it's like there's levels to it. Like maybe we get jokes out of it, premises, some kind of life lessons, and there's people like Elon Musk and Tesla and those people that pull out fucking designs.
Yeah.
Right? And then maybe there's people even above them. I mean, I know that DNA was just not discovered, but like, I mean, I think discovered is the word you could use for it through LSD, you know?
What do you mean?
The two dudes that like figured out the helix of DNA, they were on LSD when it happened, yes. And which is very interesting because, dude, before I even really understood anything about DNA, I used to see the helix all the time.
Huh.
All the time. That's something that just comes to you, like, and you're like, why are you seeing this? Like I said, I've tripped too early in life, and that's like, if there's any message that I like to give anyone who does listen to us, is I think that you should start doing these journeys later on in life. And I did them earlier, and I got a bunch of these messages very mixed when you're growing up. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I don't. I think you should wait until your brain is fully developed. I really do. But yeah,
that's very responsible.
No, I know. I really do. If people are listening, and I as much as I love to tell stories about using psychedelics, I do want to be responsible about it because I don't think they're for everybody. And I also think that they should be taken at a later year. And I think that they should be used more as tools than party drugs.
Yeah. That's why I eat them every day.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No,
yes,
I mean,
yeah. And not at a rave or not
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's,
That's my other point of taking breaks with this stuff. You're taking breaks with it to get more out of the experience the next time you take it, are you not? Like, that's the whole purpose of that. Yeah. But if you're accessing something at a higher volume, right, wouldn't you still be accessing something just at a longer span? And maybe like working out instead of like blowing yourself out one day and then having to recover.
Yes.
If you're just like little workouts all the time.
That's the way you should do it. And as you get older, like smaller, not like, like not throwing yourself in the deep end. And that's what I did. And thank God I'm somewhat of a, responsible human being. But along the way, I've seen some people freak the fuck out and crazy shit happen that jumped in the deep end too young.
Well, and I should bring this joke back. Just made me think of it. But that's the whole thing with drugs, It's like
I know you. I was like smiling because I know the joke.
Most people, and I can't even think of it, but I just remember that I do have a joke.
I
about
know.
this.
I actually know it.
But people like freak out and go too hard, and it's like you're ruining the drugs. It's not the drugs' problem. It's because you can't fucking just do a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what your joke is.
Yeah, I'm sure it is because I remember the premise, but I can't remember what the actual joke is now. But
I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's not...
But I think age has something to do with it, right? When you're 16, 17, it's fucking party time. And you go as crazy.
But is that the culture?
Oh, yeah. That's awesome that you just said that. That's awesome you said that. Because that was one thing. I came in here no notes today, and I was scared that we're going to be like, we have nothing to talk about. Culture. Dude, culture is not your friend. That is a direct quote from fucking Terrence McKenna. Culture is not your friend. And culture has been manipulated. I know Tripoli's been talking about it recently. And it's just... Once again, it's in that hive mind, whatever you want to call it, that we're all going. But culture has been manipulated, and counterculture has been manipulated from the beginning.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit, dude. It's all bullshit, right? There's a mass culture, right? There's mass culture. There's two mass culture.
But I think that like actual real culture, where like you go to a different country,
American culture. All right, I'm sorry, American culture.
Okay. But I think of culture as more the nuances of how
I'm talking about my lifetime. American culture. And counterculture.
Yeah.
It's not your friend, dude. It's fucked up. It's all been manipulated. I'm telling you, rap music.
How come we keep going further this way and things keep getting worse?
I don't think things are getting worse. I don't think things are getting worse. I think things are getting better, and I think all these fucking fake cultures they've been putting our down our throats are all gone.
Just the media.
And we're doing this. We're talking, and people are listening, and other people that we're fans of, they're doing that, and they're listening, and that fucking 90210 bullshit that's on whatever channel, no one's watching.
Yeah.
And those manufactured cultures are over. And these award shows, no one gives a flying fuck anymore. That's all those manufactured cultures, and they're all kind of going away. And I really think we're fucking getting close, man, to something crazy. I really do. I really do.
Do you think that we need to crash a little harder before?
I hope not. I mean, I hope not. It might. Of course, it could get bumpy.
I mean, that's what I feel like.
It could get bumpy for
we
sure.
gotta go down before we
sure.
pull up out of it.
But we've been through some shit. But yeah, it could get a little crazier.
We've like the shit we've been through though. In the grand scheme of things,
I know.
it's nothing.
I know.
We're like, oh, our Amazon packages are delayed because fucking.
Dude, I fucking sent that to priority mail, man. It took 5 days.
Yo, this is back ordered. Hey, can you believe this is back
No,
ordered?
last week's conversation. We can't find the Shure mic. You can't find the mic.
Bro, Shure mics are out?
They're
this
out.
is bullshit.
And then they're gone for 4
Society
days.
is
And then they're
crumbling.
40 instead of $100, they're $40. Like I know. Yeah, I know.
Society
I know.
is crumbling.
Yeah, we're such bitches. I know, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's why, dude, another thing, I'm sorry now I'm getting ADD. Another thing I want to do, and any listeners want to hit us up or hit me up and let me know if this is something you'd be into. If not, I'll just do it off air. But some of my family members are getting old, man. I want to podcast with them, and they're getting old, 80s, and they have some of that family history of World War II in Italy, and other shit. And I like to get it just down and just talk to them about these crazy times of their era, because I feel like the old people they're going, and not a lot of like when we did it with Chips, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the conversations I have are with older comics here. I was with Larry this weekend until 2 a.m. outside of his place, and his stories, I was like, what? He's talking about like I think he was talking about Chris Rock, and I forget who, it doesn't matter, whatever, but he was talking about these comics, like their early days and coming up, and I'm like, I would like to record some of that history. I don't think it's a Freethinkers society, but it is a conversation I like to have, and if anyone's interested, if not, I just want to record them in my studio and just put them to the side. And
Good No Carnival.
Or no call, like whatever we're gonna call it, but just I would like to do that because I want to. There's some amazing people out there that and you lose them every day, and their stories haven't been told, and there's some fucking great stories, especially in this area of New Jersey, with some of the older people around here. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Chips.
You know what?
Chips like
that's the thing with all of this, and we were talking about those people that access the next level, like Tesla, and there's no clean records that say that they did psychedelics or didn't. I think there is actually some evidence that one of their, like, Galileo's garden had like weed and something else, psychedelic in it.
It would make sense. It would make sense that some did and some didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like I feel like one of the greatest minds I've ever been around in my life was DJ Omen, and that dude was, in my opinion, he was on that on that level, right, of genius and whatever. And I did psychedelics with him lots of times. He hated them.
Yeah,
hated them. He hated psychedelics. It to him, it like, I don't know. It was almost like you stuck a fork in a fucking socket. Like he just didn't. And we went crazy with them a bunch of times, but he didn't like them. He didn't think they were creative, whatever. And I think and I don't know, but I would believe someone like
he's
Tesla.
probably already tapped in. And
yeah, I feel like yes, because they're just
their
always
brains are already like.
When he used to write music, it was like a beautiful mind, man. It would look like that. It's like I almost saw that where he would have like these notes, and he'd be writing and tapping and all this fucking shit, and it was like, and then all of a sudden it turns into this beautiful piece of art. And yeah, I think he was just always tapped in, and that fucking. So it's not always, but some people get the message on the psychedelics and tap in, and others they don't need it. That's what I'm saying. It's not for everyone.
I agree with that. I think more need it than don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Those really smart motherfuckers or whatever you want to call them, advanced, they're few and far between, right? Uh-oh.
Do we need to pause?
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Do you love freedom? Do you love being clean? Then you'll love Hero Soap Company, made in the USA. Chemical and fragrance free. A portion of each purchase donated to veteran and first responder charities. Initial subscription purchase is matched bar for bar and sent overseas to deploy troops. Let freedom clean. Hero Soap Company.
All right, sorry about that. Sometimes at the Dojo of Comedy, you have to help employees punch out.
Business calls.
Yeah, a couple employees couldn't figure out how to punch out the paper. I don't know, jammed in the machine, whatever. Who cares? Not. But yeah, we are here live at the Dojo of Comedy, Clint.
We're not live.
I'm not live.
By the time they
But
listen.
we are recording at the Dojo of Comedy.
Upstairs. We
Yeah.
actually did a lot of work up here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you-
this is a hard switch, huh? We were talking about psychedelics and those guys accessing it, but
No, but while I was handling business, I was just thinking, and we were talking while this was all going on about the Dojo of Comedy. Yeah, and you've been putting in that work and all these comics, man. I feel like New Jersey's got it's a special little time,
yeah,
Maybe.
for sure.
right? Maybe because it's like we're going through a rough time.
Well, it opened the doors for like just us being open and them not open the doors for a lot of
Because New York was totally closed, right?
totally closed.
Totally
And
closed.
We at least had 25% or whatever it was. Or,
And outdoor, right? Yeah, we had 25,
Yeah,
30
and
outdoor.
outdoor.
Where they lifted a lot of restraints. Where I think our friends at Stand Up New York got in trouble even for doing park shows, right? At some point.
yeah,
I know
I
they
think
were
so.
successful with
Yeah.
a lot, but
and then they got shut down eventually.
Yeah, they had to move over to a church or something. Like, yeah, they're doing like, wait, shout out to Stand Up New York. They kept going, but yeah, but because of this crazy time, I think New Jersey and of course New York, but in this area, it's just some funny fucking people, man. Oh my God,
I agree.
of all ages.
I think, though, we've had this conversation before that a lot of the New York comedians had come from New Jersey anyway.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them that
Oh, yeah.
grew up here and then moved there and then just didn't claim New Jersey anymore.
You know where else we should give a shout out to? Staten Island.
Yep.
There's a lot of really, at least they could say they're New Yorkers because they really are, obviously. But a lot of really funny motherfuckers come from Staten
Even
Island.
now.
Of
Right
course,
now,
of
there's a
course.
ton, tons of guys.
Yes. But I'm gonna say like Staten Island is like another spot where, that's where they're originally from, and then of course, I mean New York City's.
Oh, yeah, and then they moved to...
Yeah, but
Is it all still the Big Apple, or can you move from Staten Island to the Big Apple, or is it something?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Is the Big Apple just Manhattan or something?
That apple is fucking.
The rotten apple?
It's starting to become a core. That shit is, oh, it's so sad. New York City was such a great place.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe prostitution will come back and all the peep shows and stuff.
I did not think you were gonna go there. Okay, yeah. I mean,
I never, I was young. I was racing dirt bikes out in fields, in
you remember seeing
Pennsylvania,
it, though?
New York or whatever. I didn't even really go, like I saw pictures and stuff of it.
you don't
but
remember like going to New York when you were a
No,
kid?
we never really did.
We were from the farm. Yeah. So I remember like, dude, fucking New York in the '80s. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that
It
shit.
was like Vegas.
No, it was like some shit you've never. Oh my God, bro! I remember New York in the '80s, going to see.
Was Serpico there?
What?
Serpico.
We went to see what's it the tree? The whole tree
Yeah.
and
Rockefeller Center.
and the Rockettes and all that.
Did you ice skate?
I definitely didn't. I was a little chubby kid.
No.
My sister and my mom definitely did in Rockefeller Center. But I remember like pickpocketers.
Mm-hmm.
Like right in my grandfather's pocket, like he had his hands in his pocket,
yeah.
and like him like tripping some dude, and I remember like so like pretty much like he got pickpocketed on the street. I remember seeing all those like the peep shows like you were saying with the neon, like where it was in Times Square with like all Disney and complete opposite in that area was just like
Is it?
Yeah, have you? I mean,
Is it completely opposite? Disney owning the peep shows?
no, you're oh shit, right?
It's just taking.
Well,
on
it's
a
got
new
that
face.
fucking it's got that. You're right, man. It's got that fucking that vibe,
Yeah.
that energy, that which kind of we were talking about comedy. I know we're switching gears, and that's what makes a great comedy club. It's just like it's like this energy in the walls, the energy in the room, the laughter. Right? If you get big laughs, it's all about big laughs, and that's something else, man. right?
Is it the same building, or just did they knock the buildings down and then build new stuff? Because, I mean, I think that's probably where the energy is, no? They got rid of the buildings down there.
No, but I bet you a lot of those buildings are definitely still, like, the theaters and shit for sure the same.
Yeah.
And actually, Sam talks about that because I have a different lens with New York because it's where I grew up. But he was saying how it's some kind of karma and it's such a dark place, and it kind of goes to like what we were kind of just messing around with is that that there's some dark fucking energy in that island, huh?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, like think about how easily it slipped back into like what it is now.
Fucking fast, huh?
It was pretty fast.
Really fast. Yeah, because all right, so when I grew up, it was really bad in New York. Like I like seeing crazy shit as a kid. Like I remember like certain areas like you look straight. Don't fucking look, just keep walking or look straight in the car. If you're on the train or the subway, just look straight. That was like the 80s. Then the 90s, it was kind of dangerous, but really artsy, right? And that's when I was like really young, like 1992. I was about 12 years old, and I would like take the train to the city all the time and go to...
With your family?
No.
At 12?
Yeah. We would skateboard. We go to the Brooklyn Banks and like skate.
Jeez.
Yeah, because we lived along a train line. So like for $10, you got a round trip ticket to the city. So we'd be skateboarding, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, we would go to the city and we'd go to like Washington Square Park, Brooklyn Banks, and like all these places and hang out. And it was dangerous. You had to be careful, but we went in big groups, you know? Mm-hmm. I was always the youngest. Let's say there was probably like 15-year-olds with us, whatever, and you go with like 10 to 15 people. And it was, like I said, dangerous but artsy. And lots of, I mean, some of the best art in the world was getting produced then, 92 to 97, 8, whatever, let's say. Then Giuliani came and cracked the fuck down. And that's during like the New York rave scene when I was like big into that scene. Mm-hmm. Where you had some crazy shit going on, and then all of a sudden he came in and just cleaned the place up. And then right around that time, right then you got like 2001, obviously, World Trade Center. And then, boom, it turned into corporate town. Disney, like all that shit got cleaned up, changed up, and like turned into like corporate America. And I would go see lots of bands in Times Square. There's a bunch of theaters that are still around there. And you just... It's crazy, and you look around, you see all the lights, but it's just like, it's like that Wayne's World, right? When all of a sudden they sell out, that's just what you look, and it just ads everywhere, like everywhere you look, and it's like, oh, it's cool, like it's kind of cool, you know, if you're on acid or mushrooms or something, you look around, you'll see all the lights, but really, it's just fucking ads everywhere, right?
Yeah,
and it literally went from being
like gritty,
one of the like it's. I've traveled a lot, and New York is always, in my opinion, was always the best city, but it's definitely, I don't know, man. It's changed a lot. I love Philadelphia. I think Philly's awesome. But, yeah, once it got so corporate, and, you know, Giuliani, he cleaned up the city, and all the raves got busted, and there would be, like, you'd be at a rave, and all of a sudden, you know, the agents would come in and just shut them down, and it was like, it felt like overnight, even though it was probably a couple of years, the city got cleaned up, and it was so safe, right? Like in the last 10 years, like it's so safe. And
for a big city, I would agree.
It was like, and then it felt fake, and now it's like kind of back to itself. And I'm not saying it's good because it's kind of disgusting what's going on in the city, but it's crazy how fast it turned.
Yeah.
It turned quick.
It was a couple of months.
Like couple of months. Within a couple of months.
Because it didn't start as soon as the pandemic did. It took a little while for those
once the riots
and all that. Yeah, and then that was it. Everybody's like, all right, we're out of here.
Like everyone left fast.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Moving companies were like, we are
you couldn't even get one. Yeah. Which also was kind of weird because like pre-pandemic, once again, last 5 years, like I've been done with New York. I thought it was way too, it just didn't feel like New York anymore. But you had these like, you ever hear about these ghost buildings? Tons of
Yeah.
buildings in New York City.
Where the Chinese are buying them up.
And just no one's in them?
Yeah.
Like places that are worth like millions, billions of dollars, and just no one in them. Like that shit was happening. Just a lot of creepy, weird shit was. It just didn't feel like New York City. I don't know, man. That's we were talking about before the break. We were talking about how bumpy it will be. Like where we're at right now, like does feel cushy, but I feel like in New York, like it's pretty fucking bumpy, dude.
Yeah.
You talk to anyone who's left there, it's pretty fucking bumpy. I don't know about LA. Every time I talk to Sam, it does kind of sound the same.
Yeah. I think any of those two, especially big cities, because they took more of a stand, right? Than most other
they
cities. They were like, we're shutting everybody
down. They shut it down, right?
Yeah.
Just closed businesses.
Yeah.
I've spoke to, because very common for a restaurant owner to not own the building in New York, right?
Right.
Some do, but most
probably
don't.
a very small percentage.
Yes, and right away, how are you going to do it, right? With the rent and stuff. So so many of these.
The rent is too damn high.
It was too high to begin with, but you know they're out. All those restaurants, all those great places, like gone. And then forget about the people. Most of the people that could afford to live in Manhattan, they have other homes. They ghosted right away.
Yeah. They're like later.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think for artists, it's going to be amazing.
Because the rent will be a little bit cheaper.
And it's gonna just be the weirdos left. Because there's certain people that are never gonna leave New York.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
It'll be like,
have we ever
keep New York weird.
Keep New York weird. Yeah, it's always been weird. You know, I don't know.
Well, that's what it says around Austin everywhere.
I was just in Austin. I don't know if we ever got into it on this podcast, but the first time I ever did a podcast, I spoke about this. But I was under the towers on 9/11. Did we ever talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Pretty sure.
So, where I was going with that, I don't remember. But
that's good.
Good way to start it. But New York is
flashback to you being like, I am so high.
Yeah, really. No, why would I even bring that up? We're talking about New York, obviously, and the city changed forever after that day. But New York is it's a really special place, and it's one of those places where people you don't know. Every day I would be in school and you'd see like the same people on the streets, right? You see the same guys walking up and down the street, same guy hustling, selling his CDs, whatever. And it's like every block has its own every block was almost like a city within itself, especially in lower Manhattan downtown. It was a hustling, bustling area in 99 to 2001. Soho, Canal Street, that whole area. Still was very raw at that time, but it had this its own thing, especially like Chinatown, Canal, like I said, Canal Street, and on 9/11 when the shit went down, all those people that I saw for years, and I just daydream out of the window in culinary school and see them or kind of interact with them, maybe buy coffee or wait in line at a bodega or sit at these the same people in that square. You'd see them, and on that day, every walk of life you could imagine, they all came together and just held it down, and were directing traffic and helping people, bandaging them. And then they were coming. It was just amazing to see New Yorkers come together so fast. Like the police cars were blowing the fuck out. Like they weren't sending in right when the shit happened. There was no cop cars coming. It was just civilians, man.
Yeah. And
as much as that was a day that I saw the most destruction and the most damage that it would ever do to my brain as a young kid, I also saw the most love and compassion that I've ever seen in my life. And as much as I saw the most evil and fucked up shit, I saw people. I literally saw a guy who I'm assuming he sold crack. He was sat on the stoop every morning, and I would literally daydream and watch him. It was funny because like there's a guy who sold donuts, and then there was the fire station. That fire station, everyone in that fire station gone, right? Mm-hmm. Like one of those, like it was beautiful. It was one of those little like old like I watched those guys like come down the thing. I would daydream at it. It was my business school was, and there was this dude that would just sit on this stoop, and I don't know but it was like brown bag, and he just did his business, right? I'm assuming it was crack. I have no idea what it was, but it had to be something hard. And I'd watch him. That motherfucker was directing traffic on 9/11. Like stood there and was like screaming like stop, and like making sure like emergency vehicles were getting down there, and like really directing traffic, like
because those dudes, that is their fucking area. And
like I remember seeing like you would walk past a lot of Hasidic Jews, Asians, all kinds of people that kind of we all like lived together but never spoke, right? Maybe I bought a CD from this guy or whatever, and it was like I said, on this block was just this weird, like its own fucking city. But when the shit went down, it was crazy, and I had like I said, this shit fucked me up, dude. Like I after it all happened, I really thought I was 20. I was 20. September. I became 21 a month later. So just being a tough guy, like I for years was like, yeah, I was there, whatever. Like I saw this shit. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like it was part of my life, and I never talked about it. It took, I think, a decade. No, yeah, I don't know, something like that. Before it was one of my friends went through some serious fucking addiction issues, and it was all about like trauma, and I had to help them get through their program, and they were talking about big traumas and all this stuff, and then it just clicked when I was listening to help this person out, and I'm like, maybe that's why I'm all fucked up. It was like, he was talking about like when you get stuck, and I was always like this like 21-year-old like raging guy, like I always wanted to be the party. I'm the life of the party. Still, I'm like, it was like you get stuck in your trauma at that time, and it all clicked for me, and then I was like, you know what? And I think I raised my hand at this person's like meeting, or I did, and it was the first time in my life that I just started talking about it, and it came out, and it felt good, and and then all of a sudden I had friends that had no idea that I was right there. I still don't talk about it a lot, but when I met Tripoli, I don't even know why. Well, I know why. It's because he was on the conspiracy and stuff, and he was here, and the first time he was ever here, and I told him the whole story, and he was like, he put me on a podcast or whatever. I forget which one we did. It was none of the ones he's got published now. But anyway, I realized the more I talk about it, the more it makes me feel better. I don't know how the fuck we got on that, but
because you're talking about how New York is real. Well, but that's a good
New York
transition.
did change. It did change, like literally from 9/11. Like once the dust settled, and once like you realize, because it was really for weeks you had pictures of people, like everyone trying to find each other. Like I have pictures of everyone would put these lost, in that neighborhood. Like, hey, looking, and pictures, last seen, and once all that was done, let's say they got rid of all the rubble, and all of a sudden it was cleaned up. After that, the city changed forever.
Yeah.
The city changed forever. Forever.
And which way do you think it went?
Well, that's where it gets crazy, like almost into political and stuff. And like, because I fell for it, dude. Like, that's when the Patriot Act and all this, like, a lot of my friends that weren't there went into the military right away. Like, we are like, that's our, like ready to fight. Like, you were in our backyard. You know what I mean? And we fell for it. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy side of 9/11 and what I saw and all that. I'm not ready for that. I talked a little bit about it on one of Sam's podcasts. Maybe you could find it. I'm not ready, but I did see that was a big time of when I did get into conspiracies, because what I saw was definitely a little different than what you guys were told who weren't there. A lot different, but I realize people get fucking murked talking about that, so I'm good for that. But that that was another, but in the beginning I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I was like, I didn't obviously sign up for the military, but a lot of my friends did, and I was like pro But once the dust settled, once again, I was only 21 years old. Once the dust settled, and people and my friends started coming back and talking about poppy fields and gold and money and Iraq and what the fuck does Iraq have to do with any of this? And
Yeah.
so New York City changed, but obviously the world changed, and I think that was a very big moment. Obviously, I think it awoke in a lot of people to mainstream media and narratives, right? False flags, all that stuff, right? What do you think? It's a lot.
How many people think that was a false flag, though?
A lot, right?
A lot, but there's still a good percentage of people that don't.
Yeah, you don't think it's like Kennedy? Like if you ask people about Kennedy,
No,
right?
it's not at that level now.
No? Really?
No way.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Maybe younger people, but I think anybody older still is like
They think that the two
100%.
that just two planes simultaneously brought down 3 to 4 buildings.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
along the same way.
It's just
Like
like
a lot of people believe
it's just
that-
like
that- yeah?
anything else that now.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
now
just-
they don't say mention COVID, so they forget about it. I mean, I think people like have this kind of awareness of Building 7, but nobody probably you have the people that are in the conspiracies that know and looked all through it, but there's a large percentage of people that call people conspiracy theorists all the time, don't look in or believe anything that's other than the narrative. I know it's hard to believe, but this is the truth, unfortunately. How many people are getting vaccine, dude?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yo, so
Well,
many people are posting that they're getting, and I'm surprised by some.
All right, you know what? I had a conversation with somebody that was that got their vax, and I'm not a judger, man. I try not to judge. I really try not to judge people. I really
I'm
don't.
judging the fuck out of them.
I know, and you're a comedian. You should. I really try not to judge, and I say it all the time. I'm in the hospitality business, right? And if you get your vaccine and you feel good, and that's going to make you want to come out.
But why do they feel good now about it?
Well, they feel safe. I don't fucking
here's
agree with
the
it
point.
at all.
The point is, they now feel safe because they've been beat in the face with they need that to feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, and that person probably just thinks that 2 planes took down the buildings.
Exactly.
Yeah, wow, okay, I guess.
So take the amount of people that are getting this vaccine.
Hey, I get a lot of people that say, I'm not getting it on the side. I get
Okay.
I get a lot of
Okay, and there are a lot of people that are like 9/11. I don't know about that. They, my thing is, at the very fucking least,
that book.
at the very least, our government was like,
Which one?
9/11. Like, while all these people from wherever were learning how to fly, like at the very least,
Yeah.
let's say,
Yeah, well, no, they say that the reports are all like, yeah, those.
let's say that they didn't plan any of it or anything. They were just like, oh, look what's happening.
Yeah, we're just gonna let this happen
Exactly.
over and over and over.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So there's some culpability, I think, no matter what. But
The passports-
I'm
the
also,
passports?
I would also
Anyone
be,
look into the passports?
yeah, that were totally fine on the ground.
Bro, I used to have a handful of debris that was flying in the air. It was just like dust of like glass, paper.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
flying in the air for
Well,
hours. But the passports were in
They
perfect.
are notoriously bulletproof passports.
From Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're actually
Yeah.
the most. They're made from carbon fiber, I believe.
Oh, or that spider. I think back then, yeah,
Maybe.
the spider fiber that you can't.
Yeah, Spider-Man wove them.
Yeah,
He weaves them himself.
definitely. Saudi Arabian passports were made by Spider-Man.
So, you know, I mean, I agree, dude. But I would be considered. Some may call me a conspiracy theorist. You know?
Oh my god.
So you know what I mean? I don't know. Possibly they're right. Possibly,
Listen.
I'm somewhat right. I'm not saying I'm completely right, but something's fishy.
I'm
Something's
not
fishy with
listen.
the vaccine. Yo, have you listened to regular radio recently?
Mm-hmm.
The new,
I don't. Yeah,
the
I
new
haven't.
COVID vaccine commercials are even fucking
I know.
creepier
Really
now,
creepy,
dude.
right?
I'm like, how is everybody not going programming? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
The new one is seriously like, hey, you
It's
know,
like that voice.
things are coming back, but not yet.
But
you
not
know,
too fast.
You got to get your, everybody needs to get their vaccine. Even if you got your vaccine, you still need to wear your, I'm like,
Relax.
is this seriously
Don't have a shot after 10 p.m.
Bro,
Relax.
how like seriously, I'm frustrated that everybody's not like, why is this on the air like this? Why does this guy sound so creepy as
Why
fuck?
are you getting free Krispy Kreme donuts?
What, with your shot? Is that
You didn't see that one?
Shut up.
Did you miss that at the
They're
dojo
like,
marketing
we're
meeting this
trying
week?
They're like,
Because they beat us to
how
that
do we
one.
get fat?
Like, if you
how do we
get
get fat people
You don't
to
know
get
that?
vaccine?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah, if you show us vaccination, you get a free Krispy Kreme donut for life.
Shut up. For
Yeah.
life.
I don't know. I probably got that
Oh.
hard up. But you definitely get free Krispy Kremes or donut chain something. With I don't care. If we get, but regardless, yes, you get something free. I've said it in this podcast from the beginning. Not proud to say that I've been around. I grew up with a lot of people that have been in prison. First thing they tell you is nothing in life is free. If somebody gives you something, that shit's never free. If
I've been saying that about flu vaccines. Why are they free?
Yeah.
Why are they? Why
Stickers,
is this on every
you get all kinds of
commercial?
shit, and you get all kinds of shit. Oh, get a sticker, a donut, No, I said the same thing, dude. I'm like, that's never like. Why is that free? So
And
now,
why do they keep going? Hey, check it out. Dolly Parton got hers. Hey, Steve Jobs got his vaccine.
He's dead, dude.
I know. That's why I said it.
Michael Jackson.
Jackson also got vaccinated. What if they started running campaigns like that? What if it was just like John Lennon would have done it?
Just guys who died tragically and women. The 27 Club.
They were like, Anthony Bourdain definitely would have been vaccinated by now.
Oh man, I should not laugh at that. That's rude. That's very rude.
That was rude.
It's rude. That guy is like a fucking Jesus in the kitchen. Just made me laugh,
Kobe
man.
Bryant and his daughter would have gotten
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
All right. Stop it now.
Elvis Presley.
Hilarious.
He was see
Died of the
why
toilet bowl.
is this? Why is this?
He's a fat old white guy.
Why are you loud there?
I don't know.
Rush Limbaugh. He just got his.
I mean, I don't know.
See?
But you know what?
You're censoring.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Censoring.
censor this. We're
You're
gonna censor
censoring
this
me.
podcast.
You're censoring.
We should definitely censor this podcast.
This is bullshit.
We had to fucking stop because the printer stopped printing, and we had to help the employees clock out.
And then I think this
and
is
now it
still
turned into no carnival parking. So
well,
if you guys want to hear Clint and I go off the rails, and a lot of other funny comedians from New Jersey, this is what we do every week on No Carnival Parking. That's our other podcast. We talk a little bit about conspiracies, but we go off the rails and have a lot of fun. And there's a lot of really funny.
last week
Yeah.
was a handful with the comedians of the compound here, and then we had guests, and then there was probably 8 people on the podcast
It's
at
like
different times, and then I actually left the table, and just No Filter Paul took the whole thing over. And
You know what's kind of weird?
what?
I need to cut you off. That 2 of those guests are on Tim Pool right now that we had here.
Is Chrissy?
Well, she was on yesterday,
yeah.
and Aaron's on today. Aaron Berg's on right now. That's
Well,
pretty.
Chrissy didn't come in, but she was here.
She wasn't on.
She wasn't on the podcast. No.
Oh,
They
well,
like kind
I
of-
have good news for you, Clint.
She's coming.
We have a guest.
Where are they?
No, next week. Chrissy Mayer will be here next week.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have Chrissy here next week. I'm so
Hold on.
excited.
Is that the week I'm away?
You better not be away next Wednesday. We'll talk about that off air.
Okay, maybe.
I really hope I didn't do that. But yeah, so yeah, she's scheduled. Yeah. So somehow I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna record Chrissy. Yeah. But yeah, and Aaron's
That
there right
sounded
now.
creepy.
Yeah, that's so weird. I did that out.
We're gonna record Chrissy.
Chrissy, whether you're here or not. No, but I'm really excited. It's weird because I hate asking comics to come on the podcast.
I know. That's why.
I just never want to be like. There's these stories, right, of like other people that own clubs that
being
I've
P.
heard.
Diddy.
No, I've heard it.
Being
No,
P. Diddy.
listen, I heard it. I
All
don't know if
up
it's
in the
true.
video.
All up in the video. But I heard there are some club owners that before a national touring headliner comes on the stage, that they make you sit and watch a live podcast before they get on. If that ever happens, Clint, take me out, dude. Take me the fuck out.
I think.
So I never want to
Don't
be
worry,
that
we
person,
won't do it.
right? I never want to be that person. But a lot of comics, especially the ones that we hang out with, are free thinkers.
Yeah.
So,
So there you go.
So I'd like to have some of them on,
Yeah. No, there's definitely some crossovers for sure.
But I also don't want to be like, hey, you want to do my
Right.
video? It's weird.
That's why I harass people about no carnival parking.
Well, that's different. It's a comedy podcast, but yeah. What's going on with you? You've been crushing comedy lately.
Well, I need to get up a little more, but no, just a lot of experience, and we're kind of getting rolling back again here. So it looks like things are opening up. So
Yeah, but you've been doing other shows.
oh yeah, I have gotten on some shows and some podcasts. I was actually on The Wet Spot, Chrissy Mayer's
Vote for
podcast. Yeah, vote for me if you watch
Yeah.
that, or don't. Just go to Twitter and vote for me anyway. Yeah, so I mean, some things are opening up. I would definitely say it's tied to being at this place and meeting people and being on these podcasts.
No, but your set has been getting
Well, I appreciate that.
But no, besides, forget about that. You're working on a new show.
Yeah, trying to do we're going to do a live stream. It's like a mixed media type of show, but it will be live online, and you can be like, I hate calling it a studio audience because I don't really see it like that. I
But you
see
can
it like
hang out and
like a comedy show that's also online, not like a studio
you
production.
can hang out and watch the show, and it's a mixed media thing.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of-
There will be stand up. The stand up will only be on the live version, and then I'll take everybody's stand up down after and just re-release the skits that we filmed for it or anything we filmed on it.
But if you listen to the show in New Zealand, you can buy a ticket and watch it.
Yeah,
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that.
yeah, that'll be cool.
Because we do have listeners that want to, and you don't have to live in the New York, New Jersey area.
No.
By the way, if you do ever fly out here, we could hook you up with very cheap and nice rooms 5 minutes from the club. Clint will pick you up himself if you need a ride.
I'll pick you up my big diesel truck.
Well, one of these wackos might.
Somebody will. Yeah, no, and the food's great here at
Stop
the
it.
restaurant. It is. It's really good. I tell people that all the time. They're like, "What should I get?" And I'm like, "It's all good." Except for the stuff with the blue cheese in it. It's fucking gross.
No, but
He for months I kept getting this buffalo salad, and I'm like, no blue cheese, and every time it comes I'm like, bro, what the and then sometimes it was hidden at the bottom, like there was none through the whole thing, and then it was just at the bottom of the plate, and I'm like, you're fucking with me. And he just starts laughing like that, but I'm like, what is going on? Why there's always, I said, he goes, no, there's no. So I saved it one day, and I went down and I was like, what the fuck is this? And he goes, that's not blue cheese. I don't know what that is. I said, it's blue fucking cheese. I ate some
I
of
think I
it.
told you
It's
it's
terrible.
gorgonzola.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't get. I said, if it's gorgonzola, it tastes just like fucking
is
blue
just
cheese.
a
I don't
higher
like that either.
you disrespected my salad by taking out the best ingredient.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna order food that doesn't have blue cheese in it, so that you can't fucking. Then he likes to order them with blue cheese, and they just kept making his salads with no blue cheese because
is true. They fucked my salad.
after a while
I stopped ordering that salad because
they
of it.
did start to give me salads with no blue cheese, and then when he would order, they would give him those too. So it ruined the salad for both of us. Good job.
You ruined my salad.
You ruined the salad for both of us. Neither one of us can get it now.
You ruined the salad. Listen, I'm sorry. This podcast was so good in the beginning, I think, and I never say that, but we were having some deep conversations, and it kind of went off the rails. I'm sorry, but I am so thankful. Every night, I really am so thankful for everybody that listens, even who... You guys are part of our family. Hit me up on. I love talking to you guys on social media. If I have the time, I love talking to you guys. You guys are the best. The Swarm, the psychedelic Swarm. Hashtag psychedelic Swarm. That's what.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what we are here.
You're like a subdivision.
We are. We're a set. I was talking to Sam about that. I go, yeah, it's like a gang. We're a set.
You're the
We're
SS. You can't do that.
No, not the SS, you motherfucker. Oh,
PS.
No.
PS.
We're the psychedelic.
Sorry, my bad.
No, but seriously, I love the Swarm. All of Tommy G's listeners, all of our own listeners. You guys are family, man. Keep coming out to the dojo. Say hello. Like Clint and I love when you guys come out to shows and say what's up.
It trips me out.
It does. We love it.
I'm like,
I
what?
want to take pictures. Like if you say that, I want a picture with you. It's awesome. I love that. And
People
we're
have
thankful.
written me, and I'm a bad responder. I don't.
I'm a good.
You hear me now. I talk very little. Like, so I'm like, I feel bad. I should say something to this guy, and it's like, fucking, hey, thanks. But I'm just not.
I mean, I
fucking-
text you about very important things, and you barely write back.
People write this to me all the time.
uh,
They're like, oh wow. I'm like, okay.
If you couldn't tell from his voice that he's not a fast responder.
I'm like, all right.
No, but seriously, I really feel I'm so grateful for anybody that listens to this. Thank you so much. We do have guests coming up. We actually have some other podcasts, some free thinking podcasts that we're going to cross over with. I'm so excited for that too. I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll be back next week.
This weekend, because I'm gonna get this up.
Oh,
Maybe.
at the dojo.
Yeah.
We have Josh Denny on Friday, the 26th, and Natalie Cuomo will be on that show. And then the 27th, we have Bob Levy, and who the fuck knows who's going to show up. There's definitely rumblings of some Compound Media people that might pop in throughout the weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody after that? I know you got a bunch.
Oh, tons of shows. Just go to tiffscomedy.com, and by next week, thedojoofcomedy.com. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, people, go to freethinker.tv, which actually I need to update. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. There's a lot going on. And herosoapcompany.com. I ran the ad during the little break there. That's what I'm going to do during the break. So anyway, go to herosoapcompany.com, use the code FreeThinkers with an S, and actually get 20% off of your order. So people have been doing that, and we really appreciate that. And merch coming soon, too. A little bit of merch. Thank you, guys. Please, don't be mad at me at my shitty responses. I'm a terrible typer.